Hello everyone. Good evening and welcome you all for today's Placement Buddy Talk. This talk is arranged by PG Academics and Career Council and in that mainly Career Development Wing. I am Khushbu Krishnani, General Secretary of PG Academics and Career Council. This time we have chosen Civil Department. We know that in this pandemic, it is difficult for you all to connect to your seniors regarding placement. So we are here to help you. We are trying to cover more and more departments and profiles. I hope these sessions help you. From now on, our Career Development Manager, Amit, will carry on the session. Amit, you are not audible.
Thanks, Khushbu. Myself, Amit Kumar Pandey, manager at Career Development Wing. So today we came here with the third series of this placement buddy talk, for especially for civil engineering students. The speaker for this talk series is Mr. Vivek Pandey. He is a M.Tech student in Civil Engineering Department. He is a Y19 student, and he got placed at Climate Connect, which is acquired by Renew Power, and his job profile is machine learning engineer. So, so I ask Mr. Vivek Pandey to introduce yourself in little detailed manner.
Yeah, hello everyone. All the juniors and everyone. Like I expect, like everyone is from civil engineering department, and most of you are PG and MG and B.Tech students. So as Amit has already introduced me, I'm a machine learning engineer, and last placement session I got placed in Climate Connect as a machine learning engineer. So now I am posted in Gurgaon as a machine learning engineer in the data science team of Climate Connect company.
Okay, thank you, Vivek, for very short and nice introduction. So my next question is to you is, can you tell us the name of the companies that came in last year and their job profile, and what was the eligibility criteria for those companies as far as you can recall?
Okay, so I actually don't remember the name of most of the companies, but in general, I can tell you, like the companies that the job profile that is most generally offered during the placement session is obviously the software-based profiles, and like core companies come very less in number actually. So last time, just one or two students placed in the core department. So that is a problem. But if you talk about the sequence wise, like which are the most in demand, like the most that sequence first of all will do software engineers, full stack developers, data scientists, machine learning engineers, data analytics, and all. So this is how the companies come, and the eligibility criteria depends vary from company to company. It is always tough for civil engineers to get into the non-core companies, and the problem is that we don't have those core companies. They also come in a very less number. So and even most of the non-core companies also hesitate to allow civil engineers to get into some interviews and all. So the other criteria are like CPI and the internships or the work experience that you have. So they read your resume and allow you for the interviews. But before all of that, they take obviously the written exams like coding rounds and the aptitude rounds. Based on that, we are allowed after and seeing the resume, we are allowed to get into the interview.
So, can you tell us in brief, like what was your placement strategy? What was
okay, so
yeah.
Yeah. So like I expect like most of us here students that I can see here look from the PG background, right? Am I talking to the PG students only?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the idea is more clear now. So I understand like when we civil engineers come from B.Tech to the M.Tech, so the basic problem is that many of you would be facing that also. Most of you people would not be very much well introduced with the computers only, leave about the programming and all. Okay, so that problem also existed with me, but like we all want jobs and some career opportunity, and we all know the harsh truth that the core civil engineering's job, however the hard work we do are very less, and it is very difficult to crack. So that was the case with me also. But the thing was that after coming to the IIT, like we get opportunity, and for the some like few people get opportunity to get introduced by the programming and coding and these kind of skills in their BTech. But very lucky people, very small, very few people are able to do that in civil engineering in their BTech. So that was the problem. So I was first of all introduced with these kind of things in when I started my M.Tech, and obviously after the first semester I get to know that yeah, I have to prepare for the coding, and slowly I started like uh, for the first time I started learning Python, and apart from that I also knew that there should be something in my resume that I should be able to present in front of the company, so that they ask me something interesting, they see something interested in my resume, in my profile, that is how they will be hiring me. Otherwise, if they don't find any positive things, any good things in you, in your profile, so why would they hire you? And for like M.Tech PG, I would be very specific. So like M.Tech civil engineering students, we don't have those kind of skills. Okay, so when you compare to the other branches and all, okay, like with even with the B.Tech students, some people call like B.Tech students get placed very well. They get more opportunities, but the thing is a little different. They get placed very well because they have uh, a variety of a variety in their resume. They have covered most of the parts. Like in their resume, you can see software, you can see machine learning, you can see analytics, you can see consulting, and all kind of things. But in this limited time that we have for our preparation in this two years, and that is also in the starting 1 year only we have to prepare. So we have to very specific about. We cannot prepare for everything. So that's how I started. I started preparing for Python, and slowly I get to know like I get to introduced by the data science and the machine learning just projects I started working on. So slowly I came to know like these are the branches or the things that are in more demand, and I can prepare for. So that how it started. And if you say about the strategy, the biggest strategy was I wanted to build a profile that can impress an employee. So I did not focus about like I should do like this set of things or that set of things. What I actually started doing was like I started searching for the internships in the very start, just of the I started learning the Python. I started searching for the internships on the LinkedIn and on the interns I think. So when I started applying, I saw the eligibility criteria of those companies. Like what were they demanding? Some companies demanded Python, some companies demanded SQL, some demanded data structure algorithms. So that way I came to know about how what are the demands for different kind of profiles, and I started building my profile based on that. One more thing that I focused on was like I picked up a resume of someone who was placed very well, and I started following the content of the resume very seriously. Like the internships, if anyone has done, I came to know is very important and very impressive in your resume, and that gives you more opportunities during the interview and getting a job. And different kind of projects. So I started like building my projects, and in the starting I started building my self projects, but later I came to know like self projects are not that important, so you have to focus on the course project and the internship project that you can do. So this is how we can start. Like 2 points from here I can say, like one thing, the first of all thing is that you just pick up one good resume of someone who is placed in the type of company that you are searching for. The first thing. And the second thing, understand the needs of the companies, and that you can do by searching the requirements that they are asking in their job profiles. Like if you search on LinkedIn or you search on um, uh, in Ternsala or anywhere, you will come to know like these are the needs of this company. So these are the two basic focus for me that I wanted to prepare.
Yeah. So, just I forgot to mention one thing. Like audience can uh, ask their questions or doubts at the end of the session, so such that the flow doesn't break. So my next question to you, Vivek, is like, according to you, what should be the appropriate time when one should start their placement? Uh,
Okay, so I mean,
According to you, like,
the appropriate time should
yeah,
be just like as soon as you can start. Okay, the best time that I will say before you enter your M.Tech. Okay, so like obviously now you are in M.Tech and spend almost one half year here, and you will be facing the placement. So that is not the case now. So the next thing that we can do is like uh, know the things that we need to prepare. Okay, so for M.Tech civil engineering students to get a job, the basic things, like I said, like what are the companies demanding. Okay, so from my experience, I will tell you the most in demand thing is data structure algorithm, machine learning. Okay, and and your practice for the coding down. Okay, so this is, and the third one is your resume, and the fourth one is your interview preparation. These 4 points, if you remember. So sequence wise, you can go like you can start doing data structure and algorithm, then machine learning, then aptitude and probability statistics. You can, if you want to prepare, you can prepare. That is definitely helpful. And the third one, like while doing this data structure and algorithm and machine learning things, you just keep in mind, like I have to do some kind of projects that are visible on my resume also. Otherwise, there is no point of doing that. Like you won't be getting an interview to impress the interviewer. Like you will be getting your first job based on the interview that you are doing, that you are giving. Okay, so the thing is, like you have to prepare these things: data structure algorithm, machine learning, and they like the focus should be making some good projects that can reflect into your resume. Okay, so this is how you can proceed. And for that, you can, if you see, like data structure and algorithm takes almost 3 months to complete. Okay, machine learning one can do in 2 months, and 1 to 2 week you can start do if you don't know any programming language, that you can do in the Python. Okay, so almost 4 months, 4 to 5 months for the civil engineers we need to do. So if you start from now, it is like the time is enough till the December. You will be very much prepared for getting a job.
so the next question is like, tell us something about your selection process. Like, is it like based on your resume? Means the companies are selecting based on resume, or they are taking written test or GT or interview, or all combination of all these?
Okay, see, for most of the companies, they follow the similar procedure. Like when they come to the campus placement, they first of all take the coding round, and few companies in that coding round only they have these aptitude based questions also. and if you qualify those uh, coding rounds and written tests, then you are able to get the chances in the interview. Okay, but there is a problem. Okay, the problem is like most like most of the civil engineers in M.Tech, they would be starting preparing for these kind of non-code profile job profiles um, after entering into the M.Tech, and there are many people who are preparing it since very long. Okay, might be it might be there might be a very high chance that you guys would be have started programming after M.Tech. Okay, so you would be competing with them. So there are less chance to you compared to other people for getting selected into the interviews based on the coding round and all. Okay, so what you can do is like you can focus on the other things, like these are the basic criteria, and you have the written test and all. Okay, so these are the first criteria to getting into the interview, and the second one is your resume and the CPI. Okay, so if the coding round is tough, you can build upon these two things. Okay, resume is a very impressive part. Okay, so this is how we can go. And can you repeat your question again? Pardon.
Yeah, means I was asking you to tell us something about like your
Yeah,
selection process.
about
Yeah.
yours. So most of the companies do these things only. So similar to that, my company, Climate Connect and Region uh, Region Power company. So that also did the same thing. Okay, so first of all, I appeared in that coding round where some coding questions based on the machine learning profile was asked, and some questions were from aptitude, and I wrote those exam and qualified for the interview, and there I they asked question from me based on my resume and all, and I did well, and that's why I was selected in that.
So can you tell like means is this company Climate Connect comes every year for civil engineer guys, or can you tell some more companies which frequently visit the campus for civil engineering students?
Okay, so there are few companies who have decided their domain. Like they would be coming either for the computer science engineering department or the electrical department, and they will be sticking to the same. They won't move ahead. Okay, so they are likely to be very big tech companies. Okay, apart from that, there are many other companies also which like allow most of the people to appear in their exam and in the interviews. So if your profile is good, does not matter you are from structure, transportation, environmental engineering, or geoinformatics, anywhere. So if you build a good resume and appear for those companies, like then there are very good chances of getting selection. So I'm not sure like if Climate Connect comes every year or not, but yeah, if being in the company, I know that this company is expanding uh, its range, and that's why they would be doubling or tripling their strength in the coming years. So definitely one can hope that they would be coming for the next year also.
Okay. So, can you share your written test and or interview experience in short?
Okay, so this is the part written test. Uh, I have told you like there is a very tough competition in that. So I will definitely appreciate if someone works hard and clear 2 or 3 companies or even more based on their coding skills and all. And like you have to work hard. I assume that you are from civil engineering background, and that's why you are doing it. Because in our civil engineering department, few people like in geoinformatics specialization, they also come from CSC or electrical engineering background. So they have some kind of coding experience. But if you are from a civil engineering background, so you won't be having much of these skills. So I was pretty aware of that. So that it is going to be tough for me to like compete people in this section. So I had planned according to the second part. Like I just suppose assumed that I will be getting at least one interview, and I have to do best in that. So I built up my resume, the best that I could do. I followed a guy from IIT Bombay who had got a very good placement, and he had a civil engineering background. So I like took his resume. I followed him completely, like from very start to the very end. I started building my uh, doing internships, learning the technologies that skills that has been written there, and like slowly you come to know. So I had made a pretty good resume, and this is the one part where I could say that I was better than some other people of my like who have even got placed in the very high tech companies. So my resume was better than a few people from that part. So this is one thing that I try to maintain, that I have to do, because I had no other option. Like I was knowing that I was lacking in the other part. So I had maintained a good resume. In the interview part, uh, I was sure like if my resume is good, so they are going to ask questions, uh, uh, the questions that I want them to ask from me. Okay, so I had internship, I had good projects, I had prepared them well, so I knew that they are going to ask these kind of questions to me from these areas. I was pretty much prepared for that, and that actually happened in the interview also. Like they asked the same questions from the same internship and the M.Tech project that was I was doing, the other internships projects that I had done. So they asked questions from the same, and obviously the basics of the machine learning they would be asking there if you are appearing for the machine learning or the any profile that you are appearing in. So this is how I managed. I just planned my resume that the interviewer should ask questions that I want them to ask from me, and did that work for me? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You told that like you prepared this coding part, and you mainly focused on your resume. So can you tell like in brief, like mm, what are the sources that you referred for this coding part? Because you come from a civil engineering department, which is but you got placed in ML profile. Uh, can you tell which all sources you referred for your placement journey?
Okay. So see, um, like I said, everything that I learned, I made sure that that should reflect in my resume. Okay. So when I started Python programming, I learned it very quickly in 1 or 2 weeks, like the basic stuff that is required in that. And after that, I started like how what kind of projects that I can do, that I can write in my resume. So the term papers that we have, okay, I started searching for the good term papers that have these kind of good skills of machine learning and coding and all. Okay, so I started working on those projects. I started using my programming language to implement there. And when you try to uh, like proceed in the problem solving way, like uh, doing this, I will solve this problem. Like I will solve learning Python and machine learning, I will solve a project. Okay, so you get more knowledge about that because your approach is a bit different. Okay, so this is I started Python, I started machine learning in the way that I have to do some project, I have to get an internship. Okay, parallelly, because they have to be done in the same time. Okay, so when once I was doing this thing parallelly, I was applying my knowledge to this field. I was applying for the internships also. I got 1 or 2 internships from the internsala. I did my projects there, and started building my resume from the day one. In the the lockdown started in the March, and since then I started preparing. Okay, so since then only I started writing my resume, and like you can understand like how many revisions would have done in my resume. Like I talked with a lot of seniors, like what is the problem in that. in my resume, how can I improve, what are the most important sections that I can highlight. So few things are there, like you have to highlight the special skills that you have, that you are learning, like the machine learning algorithms, like convolutional neural networks you are using somewhere, some web development project you are using somewhere. So you have to highlight them. You have to highlight the skills that the projects that you are doing, the internships that you are doing, and you have to be very careful that my resume contains all those skills that is required by a particular field of company. For machine learning, I was preparing, so I maintained that. And the sources was initially I started from YouTube only, but as like I started getting knowledge, I prepared from Coding Ninja, the data science and algorithm. I prepared that from Coding Ninja. And the other source is like I did some courses from the Coursera also. I did a few courses there, and and few courses from the Udemy also. There are few courses like Joe Sportilla is like lecturer or teacher, you can say, who has very good courses on Python and machine learning. So I followed that also. But most of the courses that you find on Coursera and the resume and YouTube anywhere, so you will find one thing, like they are just using a simple basic algorithm and they are trying to implement it somewhere. So that is one plus point. There is a one plus point in that, and there is one negative point in that. The plus point is that, like, you can build the projects, okay, because they had a project based approach that they are doing. But the negative part is that you don't know the basics of the algorithm, so you have to do some another course that deals with most the basics of the algorithm. So I also did one course from the NPTEL, also some IIT Madras course. It was a machine learning based course, so I did for understanding the very basics of machine learning. Okay, so this is how I did.
Okay, okay. I said, you belong to civil engineering department, and you got placed in a non-core company. So, do you face any difficulties in your preparation or in your journey from
Yeah,
your preparation
like
till
I
placement?
mentioned, many times, being civil engineers, we don't have these particular skills that companies are demanding. Second one, the skills that we have, the companies don't come for those skills. Like civil engineer, being civil engineering guy, we expect like some core companies like L&T and some, like most of the people won't be knowing this five companies name for the civil engineering only, because they don't even come to their life, like neither is the B.Tech nor is the M.Tech. They don't like come for the campus placements. Okay, so core companies are less. The skills that was required in the non-core sector was a problem. And the third thing was like the source, like the source of information or the guidance of like how to prepare for the placement. Being civil engineers and a non-tech guy, we are completely blind like how to face it. So like you would be appearing in this one talk with me, grabbing up a few points and like missing most of them. Some would be useful, some would be not. But you like most of the time it would happen that you won't understand what I really meant. Okay, what I really want to tell you. Okay, so I, some basic idea will only come to your mind when I will be talking to you. So but after that you have to uh, search your own path, and you can just follow few steps. As I mentioned, like um, the problem solving approach, like what you are learning should solve a particular problem. Like in my case, I wanted to get an internship. I wanted to do solve some kind of project in the profile that I was interested in, like machine learning. I stick to that. I started I kept doing the projects in that. I kept learning the skills that was required for a machine learning engineer and a uh, data scientist profile. So just stood like uh, uh, like problems are there. Like if even many companies don't allow the M.Tech civil engineering students in their like not even in the written profiles. Also, I applied for the uh, you can say at the end of the placement session, I had applied more than 100 companies, but I'm not sure like I would have written test for more than 30 companies also. Okay, and again the second thing is like even after rating those examinations, we won't be called to the interviews very early. Okay, so it is going to problematic. So like there are, so we can just focus on the criteria that they are choosing. So being civil engineering student is a negative criteria that is going to be in the placement. So I'm not demotivating you, but this is the harsh truth, and it is a negative impact that you would be creating from your resume. But the other factors are like the pointer you can improve, the resume you can improve, the skills that you have like coding down and coding aptitude, data structure and algorithm, all these kind of things you can improve. So this way you would be increasing your chances of getting an interview. And if you have prepared a really good resume, if you have done some internships, you have done some projects, so and you defend them very well in the interview, you prepare you give a really good presentation in the interview of what you are doing or what the knowledge skills that you have, so you definitely be getting a good job there. So there are problems, but there are chances also.
So, my next question to you is like, if let's suppose, as you tell, the number of core companies coming to the campus are very less, but if a person like to go for he's passionate to go for core companies, then any suggestions you have for such guys? Like, like he's thinking that no, I should go for companies only.
See,
Or what subjects he need to prepare for that? Any strong that has more weightage in interview or in written process.
okay, so I see. I'm not the best person to tell you how to prepare for the core interviews, but I will tell you one or two things that I know about this field.
Because,
Like getting
because you in your mind, like first your priority was I think your priority was also to sit for core companies, uh, but as the number of companies are core companies are coming very less, so you also made yourself prepared for non-core companies. So you can share your strategy. Like if you are up to sit for if you were sit for a sit this core companies, then what was your strategy? Or what subjects was do you think that is more important for core company point of view?
see while applying for M.Tech in IITs, the preference that most of the people choose uh, are like the structural engineering is on top of that. Okay, then people apply for the transportation, then people apply for geotech, environment, and all. Okay, but no one wants to go in the non-core field. Okay, non-core field in that means that is not really stick to the core civil engineering branch. Okay, but so that was the case for me also when I was applying for my M.Tech. Okay, but I knew like what my priority is. Okay, so I knew one thing, like my priority is getting a job. Okay, so while I was applying for the M.Tech, obviously if my rank was very good, I would have chosen some other branch or this and that branch in that IIT. Okay, so preference would have been deferred. That happens with most of the people also. Okay, but the thing is, we just don't want to like do our studies. For me it was the case. I wanted a job, so I set my mind according to the criteria that I need to complete for getting a job. And I really found that it is very tough to get a job in the core sector. Okay, at least in the campus placement, it was going to be very tough. I have a lot of friends who are doing well in the core civil engineering fields. Uh, Many of them are in the government sector, and many are in the private sector. So if you want to come into the private civil engineering sector, then you have to start from very scratch. Okay, so most of the companies who are providing you, giving you a job in the core civil engineering branch, ask you like a very high skilled person you need to be in that sector. Okay, and the second, the salary or the payment or the work that you will be getting is very less. Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, so whenever like you appear for the placements during the campus placement, you get demotivated about the amount of package that the core civil engineering companies are offering. uh, like as you know, in the initial sections of the placement session, the big companies, big tech companies come and they offer very good package. Like some companies offer 50 lakh, 25, 30, 40. Like these kind of packages are offered in the very start of the placement session. But as soon as the days pass and we come to the end days of the placement, we get to these kind of companies which offer very less package appear there. So at that time only few civil engineering companies come with very less package. Like some come with the 6 lakhs, some come with the 5.5, some come with the 5, even 4. So this kind of, and most of the people from your classmates or your friends would be like getting a job into the 12 lakh or 15 lakh or 10 lakh or 30 lakh, this kind of package. So this is the problem. You get demotivated about it. But one more thing is that, like, if you are really interested in doing civil engineering, you should not be get demotivated about these kind of steps. You should keep preparing for all those core things that you have learned during your gate. And most of the companies expect you to these knowledge only if you have revised your gate syllabus completely and you remember them well. Like that would be more than enough for you to get a core job if a company appears in the during the placement. And just the thing is, like, you should not get demotivated, like this is the package is low, or some other cases, because this is what you have chosen for yourself. Okay, so you have to be very clear from your mind, like this is what actually going to be the case.
So, so can you also tell like what all softwares or languages civil engineering guys should focus on placement?
I
Like
prepared
you
for
mentioned
Python.
Python, right? So,
Yes.
apart from Python, like do you feel any other languages which is important in placement? Because you set for ML profile, so I think for that ML profile, Python is very helpful. But let's suppose if anyone wants to go for other, you also told data structure and algorithm are also like frequently asked top means current topic in this non-core profile. So, similarly, any other language like C, C++, or
See, most of the companies, when you apply, take coding round, and the coding round, in the coding round, the questions they ask, there is a time complexity, like kind of problem in that. Like you have to write a code that is very much effective. That takes very less time. Okay, so there is a time criteria also that you need to fulfill to write the code. Okay, so Python is a very slow language in that part. Okay, so if you are aiming to clear the coding round, it's very Python is not advisable. Okay, Python is not advised. So in that case, most of the people prepare for C++ and Java. Okay, but again, we have limited time, we have limited resources. That in that only we had to do something. So um, like even if you are good in just one programming language, like I did Python, okay, and I did it well. So if you prepare a single programming language, anyone that you select from C, C++, Java, or Python will be good. Okay. If you are appearing for this machine learning and data science kind of profile, Python is suggested more. Okay. Python is suggested more. The second is like if you are appearing for the software companies, the web development, and the other software engineers, full stack developer, I will suggest go for the C++ or Java. Okay. Um, apart from that, few things in the data science that are very important are like if you have knowledge of SQL, that is very much helpful. Okay, SQL and that databases, etc. So that is pretty much helpful in getting a job.
Yeah, thank you, Vivek. That was a really nice explanation to all the questions. So finally, if you want to add something or you want to suggest something to all your juniors that are going to shift placement next year.
Okay, I guess there are some questions in this chat box.
Yeah, we will take up one by one.
Okay. Okay, so I would like to add a few things from my strategy, like in the sequence that I did it. Like prepare anything, but prepare it a way that you can present it to the company. Okay, present it to the interviewer. Okay, there are many people who are very much skilled. Okay, but they are not capable of presenting their skills in front of the interviewer, in front of the company. Okay, so there are two things that are most important for presenting yourself in front of the company and the interviewer. The first one comes is the resume part, and the second one is the quality of interview that you do. Okay, so I will suggest prepare any skill that is based that can be machine learning, data science, that can be software, web development, full stack developer, whatever. But prepare your resume very well. Prepare for the like interviews very well. Okay. Just remember one thing: when the companies come to take the interviews, they are just not taking only yours interview. Okay. There are like one panel would be taking at least 10 to 15 people. 10 to 15 people they would be handling, and it might happen that all of them are being given at least 1 hour. At least you can expect 40 minutes is given to one person. This is the minimum that you can expect, 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, so this much time the interviewer need to give to a candidate. Okay, so they want a good candidate and give them a job. Okay, and it does not happen like the companies just mark you based on your performance. Okay, in most of the time what happens, they take 4 or 5 people, okay, interviews at a time, and at the end of those that interview, the panel decides. Okay,
Yeah.
at the end of the interview, the panel decide like that guy was good. Like this is it, that he knew these kind of skills. His personality was good. He had a good communication skills. He knew Python. He had a good project. He had internship and all. And that is how they decide like you are good or bad at the end of the interview of 4 or 5 people or 6 or 7 people. So just suppose after it may happen that you are given an interview, and after 3 hours they are reviewing like, yeah, you were someone who had given an interview and you have to be considered or not. So it may happen that like you have given a really good interview, like you have answered all the questions, you have answered all the questions, but still you did not get selected. And that happens because you did not leave a remarkable thing that in that interview. Like you have to create some moment in there that is being remembered by them. Like they give you the opportunities. Like for me, I will tell you, like the most of the all the companies at the end of the interview, most of the panelists, they will ask you one thing, like, do you want to ask a question? Do you have something to ask? And most of the people, they just don't go for this question. They say, no sir, thank you. Okay, but this is an opportunity. You have been interviewed 40 minutes. Okay, you have been asked questions for the 40 minutes. You have been judged these 40 minutes. But this is the chance where you can ask something from them. Okay, and if you ask something that impresses them, that will definitely create an impact on the panelist, and they will like remember you while selection procedure. Okay, so I will tell you like what I asked them. Okay, when I was asked given this opportunity to ask this question, I asked my panelists like what are the skills and the things that I can learn before joining your company. So this was pretty planned, very well planned, well before the interview. Like I will be, if I was given a chance, I will ask this kind of question. So what happens is, like if you are asking such question, that would show that you are a serious candidate and ready to learn. Okay, so this is how you can create, like after you would be asking a question, you would be giving an answer, and there would be a talk of around 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, there you can tell them that apart from the questions that you have asked from me, I know this kind of skills also. I was there in that project. I was there in that uh, internship or that company. I was in some culture performances or whatever that that you have done in your college. So this can create an impact on the interviewer, and they will remember you at the end of the interview. Okay, so these kind of things, this kind of uh, mind games that you can play during the interview. So even like I said in the very started, I I made a very good resume. Okay, my focus was that when you make a really good resume, now what happens, like you are forcing interviewer to ask the question that you want them to ask from you. Like if you are writing a good internship, if you are writing a good project, then definitely they are going to ask you the questions from there. Okay, so you have to understand the sequence of importance that the company would be giving, and that sequence is, first of all, they give importance to your work experience. Second comes your projects. That can be M.Tech project or some course project or some other project. Okay, but the sequence would be your M.Tech thesis and your B.Tech project. The second would be some course project related to the same field. I'm talking about the project related to the same field that you are appearing in. Okay, so if you go sequence wise, like internships is really important. So if you can give yourself a point, like I have done one internship, so this is 10 out of 10. Okay, the second one is I have done a really good machine learning or data science project during my M.Tech. So that is one more 10. Okay, so this is how you can arrange your resume, and that is how you are planning your interviewer to ask questions from you. Okay, so this won't be difficult if you plan this way.
Yeah. We will take all the questions in the chat box one by one, right?
Okay,
The first question is, what minimum topics we should prepare in PSA?
See, I'm not a good person to tell you about the topics that you can prepare. Okay, but you, in general, that I can tell you, you have to prepare complete data science and algorithm, data structure and algorithm if you are a beginner. Okay, because I don't have much expertise in that field. I cannot give you like these are the specific topics that you should prepare. But yeah, as I have told you, like you can follow, if you are a beginner, you can follow that coding ninja course for data science and algorithm.
Yeah. So
That is for the beginners. Okay, not for someone who is like more experienced and knowledgeable in this field.
okay. So next question is, have you done any internship also?
Yeah, I have done a few internships. Um, one from TCS I have done. Okay, and one I got from Internsala.
Okay. So, next question is, when the coding round held during November or December? Around November, December. I think it's around October, I guess. So,
I guess they would be starting very soon now. It's August now. They would be starting at the end of the September and in the beginning of the October. They would be
right.
starting.
Right. How many non-core companies open for M.Tech civil?
Uh, like it happened during our time. Even L&T did not open for us. Okay, so this is funny, but this happened. So like this happens that core companies are like they are not coming much, and this during this
No, I
pandemic
think the question
they are
was non-core companies.
okay,
Non-core,
non-core companies.
yeah, non-core companies is open for M.Tech civil. How
See,
many
a lot
non-core?
of companies would be opening because our like placement coordinators would be asking them to do it. But in the later stages, they refuse to take the interviews of civil engineers. Okay, but as I mentioned, this is not nothing to be like demotivated from it. Like there are some factors on the basis of which they allow you to get into the interview. One I mentioned, that is the coding round. The second, your pointer resume. Pointer is one criteria that gives you an interview, and your resume. So if you uh, work on these three things, okay, if something that you cannot do, that is not in your hand, like you cannot change your branch, that is civil engineering, and that will be same. Okay, but you can prepare for the coding. You can write a good resume, build a good resume. Writing a good resume is not a right word. Okay, and you can maintain a good CGPA. Okay, this is how you can uh, get a chance of getting an interview, increase your chances.
Next question to you is, in which semester M.Tech student can do internship?
See, if you ask from your professors, they won't allow you anytime. Okay, so there is no particular time when you can do it. Okay, I'm not talking about just doing internship in Google or Amazon. Do any internship, arrange anything, a very small project that can be, but that is helpful. Okay, no one in the interview panel is going to understand like how big or how small that internship was. But whatever work that you are doing there, okay, you should be very much knowledgeable about that. You should be knowing that work. You should have done that work by yourself. So I won't suggest you to search for a very big internship, but anything that you get. Okay, even I will suggest if you have to pay some money for getting some internship, that is acceptable because at the end that is giving you an work experience. Okay, few people expect like they would be getting paid in the internship, but I don't think that this is the right approach when you don't have much knowledge. Okay, so even if you take a different approach, like if you have to pay, you just pay, but do internship if you can. That can be even 20 days, 15 days, or 1 month long.
So next question is from Ayush Pandey. He has three questions, so I will tell you one by one. First is, can you explain exactly what work are you doing in your company as a machine learning engineer?
Okay, so in my company, they are working on the renewable energy projects. Okay, so in renewable energy, how data scientists can work? They can they have to predict the uh, production or power demand or the demand of the or the price demand or something. Okay, so currently I am working in two projects, and the one is on the wind forecasting, and the second one is the weather forecasting from the satellite images. That is actually new. Okay, they are trying to build something new in this thing. Okay, so currently my project is in wind forecasting, uh, and based on the wind speed and the temperature, humidity, and the weather condition, I have to predict the wind. And the second one is the satellite data would be coming. I have to predict like the cloud movement on the solar panels. Like if cloud moves and at some point of the day, you know that would cover the solar panels. Okay, and that would hamper the energy production. Okay, so that is actually a cloud detection and movement kind of project that I'm doing.
Sorry, am I audible to you?
Yeah, Ayush, you are audible.
Yeah, Vivek. So, like you told that, yeah, you are understanding like cloud movements, and also are you processing the images? Kind of computer vision tasks are you talking about?
Yes, definitely it is a computer vision problem.
Uh, so, like, I am assuming that you might be not aware of this like computer vision field and all in your preparation before interview and all. Like, you must have
No,
learned these things during the job or before you know that.
no. See, I belong to geoinformatics. Okay, um, in, my
Okay.
specialization is in geo. So during in my like specialization only, I had to deal with the satellite images there. So like this is started from then only. Like I was introduced to the satellite images in my M.Tech, but that is not enough. The knowledge that you get there in the like I had done courses like remote sensing, machine processing of satellite images, and the satellite geodesy and all kind of things. So this knowledge is helpful. And the second is obviously machine learning, deep learning. Uh, Computer vision is not something really different. You have to work on the images, apply the your machine learning skills, deep learning, more deep learning based application. Computer vision is okay. So I was introduced about this field in my M.Tech, and then I have done some small projects in my um, term papers and coursework also.
Okay, but like, did you find your job challenging in that, or it's feel like this you have done in your coursework and it just like simply
Yeah,
aligns to that?
this is the good thing about the data science. Like it is always there is always some new problem. Like you can in the beginning I was assuming like if it is a wind forecasting kind of thing. So what would be the changing if they have built a model and that would be forecasting regularly? So what a machine learning engineer or data scientist has to do in that? So that is going to be pretty boring, but this is not the case. Every time the scenario changes, and every time the team tries to build some new solution or new model for solving your problem, like the ambitions of the company changes from time to time. Okay, and every day they want to improve their predictions and the thing, because that would be hampering or impacting their uh, revenue. Okay, so if you do prediction 10 times wrong in a day, you will be penalized. So the company want to reduce that penalization. So you have to keep learning or keep building new models. Okay, so uh, in the few days that I have done only 1 month of job in my current company, but I came to know like yeah, I have to keep learning the new things there.
Okay.
So next question is again from Ayush, like regarding working hour. So how much are the working hours does the company ask for? If flexible, then how much time you will devote for it on an average?
Okay,
Is there any fixed working hour or flexible working hour?
So what happens in my company, like the working hour is from 9:30 to 6:30, and there are 2 hours of two flexible hours. Like one can start at 10:30 and end it at 5:30. Okay, but the official timing is 9:30 to 6:30. Okay, but that is not on a very serious note. So like I am at home, and as you know, like we at the college are very lazy people, and uh, like we all mess up our timing and the uh, whole day routine. Like we are not very much habitual of waking up early, getting ready for the office, and starting the job. So it happened to me. So, but I talked to the people with whom I was working. So they like assured me, like they have given me this freedom, like I can work in the night if you want, I want to. Like so, sometimes I sleep in the day and work at the night. Okay, sometimes I feel like yeah, start early and do the job. So like this is in my company. That can vary from company to
Sorry,
So,
just to add one more thing. Sorry to interrupt.
okay.
Like 9:30 to 6:30, the official hours. In that, lunch hour is included or lunch hour is excluded from that time?
not obviously excluded. Lunchtime would be like around 1 to 3 it's lunch hour, but that is only for half hour. You have to like either do it 1:30, 1 to 1:30 or 1:30 to 2 or whatever slot that you are taking. So half hour or lunch in that. But that is not like
Okay.
they are not just jumping on your head. Okay, this is like environment is cool. I mean, they give you breaks. They like if you are in a good company. So what I am facing is like they allow you to work the way you want. They give you they create the environment in a good corporate culture. Okay, they create an environment where you can work. Like uh, they take you on some tours or the places to roam around or some kind of functions they keep doing it. So it is not really boring. Like later on, it may happen that I would face some kind of problem, but at the present, I cannot say that it is really not enjoyable or something.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
So the third and the last question from is regarding this job location. So do did they offer you like choice of job location, or Gurgaon is the only option?
No, no, that is not the only option, but that again depends upon the company. Like few companies may say you like this is the place where you have to come. But in my case, there were two options: Pune and Gurgaon. Okay, so like my preference was Gurgaon. So I had told them because it is near my home. Okay, so I preferred Gurgaon and I got that option. Okay, so most of the time, if they have options, one or two options, when you apply for a particular option, they will be allowing you to go there.
Okay, okay. So next question is, can you please tell from which specialization of C you belong? I think you have answered the question from
What?
geoinformatics.
Pardon?
Your specialization, your
Repeat the question.
M.Tech specialization.
Okay,
Is it?
okay. My M.Tech specialization is in geoinformatics.
So, does ML profile in Climate Connect prefer any particular specialization, or is it open to all the specialization of civil engineering?
Okay, so almost all the companies which would be coming, they would be selecting like giving preference based on your branch, not the specialization. Like you all are civil engineers for them. Okay, you all are M.Tech students for them. Okay, so this is how they would be segregating it. They don't bother about the specialization what you are in, but yeah, that will impact the type of projects that you are in. Okay, the M.Tech projects. So it may happen that if you are in a transportation engineering, so like I have like many people who are doing machine learning based projects in transportation engineering. There are opportunities of doing machine learning based project in environmental engineering, and even in the uh, water resources engineering. Okay, even in the structural engineering, there is chances of doing some FEM kind of things, like frequency analysis that you can do, and some machine learning projects there can also be there. So they just don't bother about your specialization, but they care for the projects that you are doing.
So can we? Next question is from Chirag Jaiswal. Can we get the sample resume to refer to for civil students looking for ML jobs?
Okay.
Sample resume for CE students for ML jobs.
Okay, so I would be sending it to you and some sample resumes, and if I find something, and that you can send if it has it.
Sorry.
Like I can just tell, like there is no particular place where you can find the sample resumes. Like I can share mine, and I can share it to someone if you want. Okay, or if I have some other people's resume also, I will look into that also, and I will send it to you.
Yeah. Okay. So so you can send it your resume, and we will share your resume along with recording of this session to
Okay,
the
sure, sure.
to all the students.
Okay, I will share it to you.
Yeah. So next question is what minimum topic? I think you have answered this question. Minimum topic that one should cover in DSA. You have answered the question at the beginning itself. Uh, how many days have you prepared for Python?
Uh, it is a never-ending thing. Like the basic stuff you can understand in just 1 week. Okay, but for being for the most important thing is practicing it, and that takes time. Okay, so I will just suggest never stop. Okay, keep like practicing your Python and the stuff that you have learned. Like coding, you can keep preparing. You should never stop before your test. It is advisable and really good if you practice at least one portion of HackerRank or some other platform every day. At least one portion.
So next question is I'm a first semester student in earth science, and I want to go get job in ML or data science. What should I do, and when should I do the internship for these profiles?
Okay, for the beginners, I will
Suggestions.
suggest, like first of all, keep maintain a really good CGPA. 8.8 plus is at least advisable. If you cannot maintain, then minimum is 7. You should not go beyond below that, because already M.Tech and your branch may hamper the choice, like your preferences for the company. Okay, so you can maintain a really good CGPA. The second one is like keep doing, like you can start with learning first of all Python or any language that you want, C++, C or Java. Do DSA and machine learning. You have enough time. You can keep doing. You should keep doing it. Once you have this much of knowledge, then if you try to apply for internships during your vacations after your exam, that like in December or even in after June or July, you can do one internship at that period. Or if you get some other time also, like I don't hope that and think that lockdown would be happening again. But if it happens, then you can do it at that time also.
Okay. So next question is while choosing the specialization course in civil engineering, do we have enough time to cope up with the hustle while making efforts in direction of coding stream? how do you manage?
The good thing about the IIT, the good thing about the IIT Kanpur course structure is that it happens only for 4 months. The semester is only for 4 months. Okay, so after that you have time to learn a lot of stuff. Okay, so during coursework, I will just say the focus on the coursework. If there is a chance of doing anything that for your placement, just never miss that. During your coursework, your focus should be one thing first, maintain a really good CGPA. Second, focus on the term papers that are going to come to into your resume. Okay, term papers. Term papers, you should select something that is impressive for the like branch that you are appearing in. Okay, for the profile that you are appearing. If you are appearing in BSA, you should select similar projects. If you are appearing in machine learning or analytics, you should select similar projects. So two things you can focus in your coursework.
Okay, so next question is regarding year gap in gate preparation, I guess. So, will 3 year gap affect the placement?
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible, Vivek?
Yeah.
Okay, so will,
Yeah, you are
will
audible.
yeah, will 3 year gap affect the placement?
Definitely it would. Definitely it
So,
would. Like
in
if
that,
you can manage it somehow, like there are ways, like if you can anyway show that you are in a job or you are doing something, that will really be beneficial. But definitely that will impact. Okay, like you have to plan really well. Am I audible?
yeah,
You have to plan really well that how you are going to tackle this question, because that is going to come, and you have to tackle in a really good way. Okay.
sorry, I was muted. So, audience, you can also unmute yourself if you have any questions, uh, and you have not posted in the chat box. So you can unmute yourself and you can ask directly with
Yes.
Vivek. So next question to you, Vivek, is what type of coding tests are there in ML rule? Hello.
Amit, I guess this is taking a lot of bandwidth, this internet. So we
Yeah,
can switch off our cameras then.
yeah. You can turn off your video.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So next question to you is what type of coding tests are there in ML rule?
Okay. So like most of the companies, uh, it may be from machine learning or data science or some other stuff. They focus on data structure and algorithm. Okay, so data structure and algorithm you should learn, because even if you are really good in machine learning and you don't know data structure and algorithm, that you can definitely miss opportunity of giving some good companies interviews. Okay, so DS is required, and some companies which are more focused on the machine learning stuff, so they also ask questions from the machine learning part. Like you have to build the entire logic. It might be your linear regression, logistic regression, support vector mechanism, or whatever. You have to write your own code. You have to write it from the scratch, from the very basics. Okay, so like I said, you can start with the approach like initially you have to learn and apply it to the project and apply for the internship. But on the later stage, when you have done with this initial part, you have made some projects, you have learned the basics of machine learning, then you can try to go in depth of the machine learning. Okay, and then you can try to write your code from scratch. Okay, and I will suggest just keep practicing this until the last date of your placement, because because uh, at the end, even if you miss a single syntax, that will affect the coding ground. Okay, so just keep practicing it, and from very scratch.
Uh, s- uh, Next question is from Sahil Jaiswal. Yeah, Sahil, your question was, can you provide your resume? So we will provide Vivek's resume along with the recording of this session. Okay. So next question to you, Vivek, is about the project. Do we need to do the project which involves coding, or should we just prepare our project thoroughly, irrespective of involvement of coding?
No, just don't take your term papers very lightly. They are your projects. Don't take, see your term papers, your lab assignments, okay, your course assignments, all can all can be some good projects. Okay, but in the term paper, what happens? Term paper we have. So if you look into the options that you have been provided, okay, you will find something that is more related to the field that you are appearing for. Okay, even in the term papers, most of the professor allow us to select the choices or the areas that we want, the topics that we can suggest. They also accept it. So somehow you can give an idea, like I if you are from a transportation engineering and you are saying like, hey, for traffic management I have a plan for using deep learning based algorithm or machine learning based algorithm, I can detect the traffic or I can use it in some other way. Okay, for similar for the environmental engineering, you can say, okay, there are many kind of possibilities like you can think about and you can apply in your term paper. So I will definitely say, don't take it lightly. These are the opportunities where you can apply the required skills and get a project completed that will appear in your resume, and that will be very handy.
In continuation of the same question, another thing is that does any coding platform score uh, matters in the resume? Like whatever they are getting the score or rank in the coding platform, does it
Yeah,
matters
definitely.
in? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If you have a good rank on Hacker Rank or some other coding platform, that will be definitely helpful. You can mention it in your resume if it is good, and that will, even if it is bad, you can write about the if you have done some good project, like if you are doing some Kaggle projects, okay, that would be really impressive. So these kind of things, your projects would be giving you knowledge about that you have some hands-on experience of the work. Okay, and you just don't know the theoretical part only. Okay, so this shows your experience and your enthusiasm also.
Next
Sir,
question is,
sir,
yeah, yeah,
just a
yeah.
minute.
Okay, okay.
Sir, like sir, the project you are mentioning, sir, suppose that uh, like I'm learning currently I'm learning C++, and I want to do project on this, but not that project is not related to my M.Tech. Then should I continue it, or because where I will mention that project?
You can definitely mention that here is a section of self projects also.
And
Okay,
sir,
you,
uh, please tell
yeah.
me a source where I can get this type of project, means based on the language I'm learning.
So once you would complete the basics of the C language, okay, you would definitely, whatever course you would be doing now, you would be getting some knowledge there only, like these kind of options. You will getting this knowledge about like, what kind of projects are available, what kind of problems I can solve. Okay, slowly you would get that knowledge once you proceed through the course. Okay, just keep your eyes open, search here and there, Google, okay, and you will get, see, project is nothing but a problem that you solve using the skills that you have. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
it can be related to your, it can be related to your M.Tech also. Like if you know, like hello, if you know, like you can apply your C++ language to some of the term paper problems in your M.Tech, then that is very good. You have to just sit and think like how this can be applied to something that is related to my branch.
Okay, sir.
Okay, if
Okay,
you can
thank you.
do that, that is very much helpful for you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Vivek, we have 4 or 5 questions left, so we will finish it as soon as
Sure, sure,
possible
go ahead.
because the session is in too much time. So how will internship and studies balance? We should balance in same one.
As I told you, like there is time after the exams are over. Like I mentioned, the semesters are only 4 months long.
Okay.
Okay, so after that you have time. In December you have time. After in the summers you have time. Okay, so IIT provides us this opportunity, like when we can apply our knowledge to some really real life problems. We can do some internships and all. Okay, so these are the times when you can utilize.
So next question is how to find internships and projects to work on.
Build a good resume, search on LinkedIn or search on Internsala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and so you can refer intern Sala for internship and project. I think Vivek has already told regarding the project where you will find the list of projects to work on for the placement session. So next question is after being specialized in a structure, on not we get much higher opportunities.
Mm, pardon, please repeat the question.
Uh, After being specialized in a structure, would not we get much higher opportunities?
See, this is a harsh truth, but it is a truth. Okay, that the opportunities in the civil engineering are really less. Okay, at least if you believe from the uh, campus placement point of view, this is tough. Okay, I'm not saying that structure engineers from IIT do bad in their career. They really do something good because, like, you would have performed really well in your gate examinations. You are really smart. Okay, if you have you are at this platform like where you have performed really well in the gate and come to the IIT and all. So that is different thing. But the thing is, like in the jobs, okay. Am I audible?
Uh, I think there's a distortion.
Okay, I guess. Okay, so am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the problem is, yeah, there is shortage uh, of campus placement jobs in the structure. Might be if you go off campus, there are some opportunities. Like some companies would definitely be coming, like L&T and all. Okay, but still, if you look at the number of the companies and number of the people who will be appearing for them, is really bad, and it is really it is really tough for someone to get placed in that company also. You might have a lot of knowledge, but still it is tough for you for to get a job in L&T also, because like at the end it would be happening that most of the civil engineers would be preparing for the civil engineering only.
Next question is will a difference is there any difference in MSR and M.Tech from placement point of view?
No, no, they write
Is
in
any
the same block, M.Tech, MSR, and MS, whatever.
same is for MSR and M.Tech. The rules and everything is like means eligibility
That
criteria and
that
everything.
won't create an impact. No, no, no. That won't happen any eligibility criteria. As I mentioned, either
they would focus on the branch you are. You are in civil engineering department. Okay, and the second, you are a PG student, master's level PG student. That's it. So these are the two criteria that would be followed. So it might be MS, MSR, or M.Tech, all fine. Equal weightage.
So the last question to you, Vivek, is what shall we have to do in summer term? Can we do some courses on computer science?
Uh, that depends upon you. Like if you have no knowledge base that you have already taken before that, before your summers, then you can apply your knowledge, like use this time to increase your knowledge base. Then you can do some course from the IIT, or you can do it from some other platforms also. Like you have, like in doing IIT course is good, but there is a condition, like you have to be bounded with the like course timing and their requirements. Okay, so if you feel free, if you feel good doing it that way, then that is advisable. But if you don't like it, then you can use other platforms for learning the things. But the thing is, if you don't have the knowledge base, then increase your knowledge base. But if you have knowledge base, then try to implement it to some projects or some internships.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all. There is no more questions left in the chat box. So audience, I request, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask Vivek directly. And if you don't have anything, then I think we can end the session here. So any questions, audience? I think we don't have any question. So thank you, Vivek.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, may I interrupt?
Yeah, sure, you can go ahead.
Vivek, sir, I have a question for you. I am an MSR student, and I have recently seen the course module for M.Tech students and MSR students for the branch of geoinformatics. So the M.Tech students have same subjects as we have in the core branch, but other than that, they have two mathematics subjects which we don't have. And in this semester, the course credit we have is of 29 and they have is of 36. So I was thinking of adding some mathematics subjects as in addition, which will constitute to maybe 34 credits in this semester, so that I can be with shoulder to shoulder with them, so that when placements will appear at that time, I would be also eligible to apply, and I will be showing that I have the same courses of mathematics as they have. So is it a good idea to do that?
See, no one would be looking at the courses that you have done. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
I won't say like you should go take it this way. Okay, rather than going for some
Yes,
course, so like this, obviously you can choose among what what options you have and what you want to do. Okay, but my advice would be, if you have less courses, then you have more time. Okay, and I will
yes,
advise you to utilize this time to the skills that are required for the placements. Okay,
so like
so
they
no
have
one would be
specified in the course module.
what?
Yes, sir. So actually, they have specified MATLAB as a compulsory thing for processing all the data and all the mathematical calculations. So we don't know anything about MATLAB.
Okay, so no one knows actually. When I came into the campus, I was even in this talk I have had many times, like when we had this IIT, we get introduced to this programming thing for the first time. So that was the case for me also. But the thing is, like the process that is being applied here is just keep learning and keep applying. That's it. No one will be coming to teach you MATLAB. You have to just Google it. Like, how can I, like, even if you have add two things and you don't know how to do it in the MATLAB, just Google it and you can apply it to the problems that you are solving. Okay, so this is how it happens. You just have to like keep learning. Like most of the things that you have to learn from your own way. No one would be helping you in that. Just Google it, search on YouTube, or do some course or something that you have to do it on by your own. And I don't
So,
think
like they are
MATLAB
providing
is
some
compulsory.
paid courses on ICT. Compulsory means they have said MATLAB or Python.
Yeah,
Any
but
one of
still,
that.
I don't think anything is compulsory. You can choose any programming language. They would be accepting that. If you talk to your professor, they would never deny, like, if you are using Java or C++ or Python or MATLAB, whatever. But the easier programming language for solving these problems for the people who are really new to this programming world is MATLAB. MATLAB is very much easy. Okay, you would be very easily like compared to other languages, you would be easily applying it for solving the problems given the lab assignments and all. And apart from that, if you come to the second programming language that would be easier, is the Python, of course. Okay, so MATLAB is advised because it is easy. But I will suggest, if you want to improve your skills, learn Python and try solving your projects in Python only.
Okay. So these languages of Python and everything, they are providing some paid courses on ICT platform for IIT Kanpur. So should we do from there, or like means how should we, from where should we learn these languages? Like do they need any certification for that? That certification or diploma ki yes आपने ये किया है, आपने ये study किया है.
If you mention any skill in the resume, if you mention any skill,
yes, sir.
And no certification will be required to prove that. Okay, so for writing skills, you can write anything. You can write like, I know how to fly a like helicopter. Okay, no one will be asking you.
Yes, sir.
But the thing is, if you have said that I have done this project, okay, and it is not done inside IIT Kanpur, because IIT Kanpur maintains the database what you are doing. So you have to give some proof about that, like some internship project, something that you have done from out of the campus or something. Okay, some like self projects also. So you have to give some proper proof of your work there. Certification is not necessary. So you can do any course. Okay. Certification is not required. Anywhere if you find it that you can improve your knowledge, you can do those kind of courses. No compulsory for anything. I will just suggest stick to the quality. Like initially, as I mentioned, initially you can try the approach like learning and apply it to the some applications, some projects. And the second stage, you can try to improve your skills, from very depth. Okay, so you have to do some course at the end when you have learned it roughly. Okay, and apply to do some project.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you for clearing my doubts.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, so any other questions, audience? I think we don't have any questions. So thank you, Vivek. Thank you for your time and sharing your valuable experience and suggestion to your juniors. I think your experience and suggestion will definitely help them in their journey of placement. So yeah, thanks once again, Vivek.
Yeah, always a pleasure to help the juniors, and I wish all of them very best of luck for their placement session. Thank you for having me there.
Okay, so I will end the meeting.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Amit. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Goodbye, Vivek. Have a nice day.